It's the Full Court Press with Eric Frandsen and Jason Walker.
Welcome back to the to the show that we're doing right now.
Following the local teams, breaking down the biggest games with in-depth analysis and team interviews.
There's going to be much higher expectations, sense of awareness of what we bring to the table.
Join the show by calling into 435-752-1069 or text 435-339-0321. It's the Full Court Press.
Rose, answer. Yes! Caught! Touchdown! They did it!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Eric Frandsen, Jason Walker here in the Full Court Press. Wow, you heard some news there at the top of the hour. Could the Utah Jazz be pulling the trigger on making a move and shipping off their great veteran point guard, who's been a great steadying presence for them? And looks like Utah and Minnesota involved in trades once again. Interestingly enough, Minnesota in town tonight to take on the Utah Jazz. Rudy Gobert coming back. We'll talk about the latest trade rumors on the final hours before the trade deadline, which is tomorrow at, is it noon Eastern or 2 Eastern? I forget.
I can't remember. I might have to look that up. Yeah, it's usually one of those two things.
Middle of the day. I don't remember which. So we'll see, and that's kind of what's, there's been a lot that's riding on and kind of waiting on what the Los Angeles Lakers might do. Clearly, that's a team that's really messed up. I mean, we've known this for a while, but it became really glaringly apparent last night as a lot of people were watching LeBron pass Kareem, and there was a shouting match in the locker room at halftime between the coach and Russell Westbrook. Then you have the other big star that has a big compensation, big fat salary, Anthony Davis, who sits on the bench while everybody else is standing in anticipation of the shot. And as they're cheering, he's still sitting on his butt as LeBron passes Kareem. So a couple of bad looks last night, and let alone the Lakers lost to Oklahoma City. But all the post-game, it was just pure propaganda for LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. But that's a franchise that's clearly needing to make some moves.
Yeah, well, and all the propaganda and accolades and graphics and social media posts and pandering to Lakers history, that's all generally deserved. This is one of the most prestigious records in American professional sports. And the dude just became the new scoring leader, and he's probably going to be the scoring leader for a long, long time. So deservedly so. It was a special moment. I turned the game on just so I could watch it. I knew he was close, and so I turned it on to watch it so I could watch it live. And, of course, I got about the same experience watching LeBron as about 90% of the people in that stadium. I got to watch it through my screen. Most of those other people watched it through their phone screen, because that's apparently how people take in big moments, is they decide to look at it through their phone screen. It's like, okay, and what are you going to do with that? So, little embarrassing for a lot of those people when you see an iconic image of LeBron and everyone in the background is phones. There's about 30,000 phones.
I know. Image. Well, yeah, they've shown this. I just saw this on social media, the side-by-side of Michael Jordan's iconic shot, which was in the Delta Center when he beat the Jazz for a championship. And then LeBron James last night when he makes his iconic shot, and cell phones are out. I happened to be one of those people in the arena when Michael Jordan hit his shot, but we didn't really have cell phone cameras.
No, he didn't. Well, heck, go look at Sam Merrill's shot in just 2-3 years ago, and I don't think there were that many. Like, if you look, you can probably find some phones. Everyone was watching the game. Granted, I think a lot of the people in the background, that specifically, a lot of them were San Diego State fans. They wouldn't necessarily be trying to film that, but still,
right.
There weren't too many phones. And for me, like generally, at least in my personal life, when I go to places, I've kind of set myself a limit of experience moments through your eyes. Now, when I go to games, as a journalist, there is some, I don't know what the right word is, not like requirement or expectation. Neither of those words really fit, but I do film stuff on my phone to post onto social media, especially because in a lot of cases I happen to have access to where I'm a little bit closer than other people.
Right,
are.
you're courtside, so your view is unobstructed
Yeah.
and it's up close and personal.
And so there's, some benefit to me doing that. But even then, a lot of times, if you look at my videos, a lot of times they're not very well shot because I'm still trying to apply my own personal, standard of I'm watching it and I just happen to have my phone pointed in that direction. Because I want to watch this because I have to experience it. And so I may not have the most well-shot video through my phone.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to watch what's happening with my own eyes and not my phone's eyes. So that's my whole tangent on that.
and you know what? I've been lucky enough, and I'm sure you have been too, to be to certain events, sporting events where big moments happen. And we all have our cell phones who have cameras on them, and we try to capture events. Like I recently got a new phone, and with that, it kind of uploaded all my old photos and videos into the cloud. So now on the phone that I have now, it doesn't really go back very far. I have some other steps to go find the old stuff. And it just kind of got me thinking about other times that I've seen videos and how often do I go back and relive some of those events or watch those events. My wife has a cool thing where she's got some things set up in our house that with an Alexa device or a TV when it goes to a screensaver mode, and it cycles through a bunch of her old photos. And it's like, oh my gosh, I remember when our kids were little. Those were good times. And anyway, that's cool. But to go back and think about sporting event moments that I was there in person, I'm not scrolling back through and looking at those videos. I'm thinking about how did it feel? What was the atmosphere? What was everything that was going on? And a cell phone video will not capture that. And I can absolutely remember all the moments and details surrounding the last couple of possessions of Game 6 of the NBA Finals in the Delta Center from my vantage point. And had I had a camera at the time, would I've shot it? I don't know. I mean, I was a teenager. Maybe I would have. I don't know. But I was a young 20-something. But still, it's you're selling yourself short if you're just viewing life through that small lens. And I agree with you.
Yeah, it's just there is a lot of value in taking videos of part of your life in pictures. I mean, just the other day I was watching a video and they were showing pictures. We have pictures of people who fought in the Battle of Waterloo. Like human beings, actual photographs of people who fought in that battle. Granted, they were 70-somethings at that time.
Much older, yeah.
But there's historical value in that, and especially if it's just your own personal life. Because, for something like LeBron hitting that shot, or for you with Michael Jordan's shot, it's you can go back and watch some other video, and that will bring back your own memories.
Right. Yes.
Now, if you're doing something fun with your family, sometimes that video or picture might be the only thing that will remind you of that. And so that can be fun. For instance, I still go back and I watch that video of me rickrolling you a week ago. So that brings back happy memories. Of course, there's two different ways that's recorded.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
But yeah, those personal things, those will help. But and that's the biggest thing for me when I go to sporting events. I don't really film them as often unless I feel like there's a professional obligation type thing that I feel like I need to do for work purposes. But for me, if I don't remember a famous game I went to, I'm just going to go rewatch the game and be like, oh yeah, I'm over here in that seat. And then I'll have my own memories of watching that play happening from when I was there. And sure, it's not as good as a video from my vantage point, but my vantage point probably sucked. So I might as well just watch what happened and remember, oh yeah, I saw that live. So it just kind of, I don't know, it's just a bunch of...
Right, yeah, I mean, I get it, why people would have their phones out, capture it for yourself.
A lot of it's social media clout. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
And to show off that
I
they
was
were
here.
there.
FOMO. You guys missed out. I didn't. I was there. Here's proof. But whatever. You know what? Big moment in the NBA, sure. But whatever. I mean, we saw it coming. And what's interesting is that, there's the dysfunction in that Lakers organization. They are several games out of even the play-in game. They've got 2 stars on that team that one they're trying to get rid of, and the other it doesn't look like they're getting along. Meanwhile, the third, he's just out there, kind of for himself, passing this milestone, and the way he's acting on that. But you know what? He's an incredible player. For all the things that annoy us about LeBron, you can't take away what he's accomplished in his career, which is incredible. Not just points scored, but he's up there in assists, minutes played, championships played in. I mean, it's incredible what LeBron James has accomplished as a player. We can disagree about his, the times where he decides to focus on certain social issues but ignore others. We can discuss his tantrums on the court and off the court. But as a player, I mean, it's amazing how he's kept himself healthy and what he's accomplished over the course of his NBA career.
Yeah, greatness is greatness, no matter however it's packaged. And LeBron James has been, you have to. There's real discussion as to whether or not he's the greatest player of all time. He's the greatest player I've ever watched. He's very deserving of that record. He's earned it. Although the funny thing is that he's had to score 36 points to get that. He did it in 3 quarters. How many points did he finish the game with?
2.
38. So he scored 2 more points the rest of the way.
2 more points.
And that's the thing, is it felt like he was motivated to get that record in that game, and then he was done.
Yep.
And the Lakers lost.
Check. And it was like the team tried to close it out. They still tried to win the game, but I mean, LeBron is like, I've done my part.
Yeah, it's like I scored 36 points, and I do the rest without me. He's like, okay, fine. And you lost to the Thunder. It's like not even a good Western Conference team. They lost to the Thunder.
A couple of your texts coming through, 435-339-0321. 9315 sent an image. I don't know what I'm supposed to. Is it like scoring for wrestling?
Yeah, I don't know what
I think that's what that's supposed to be. I don't know. 8968 texting in. I understand LeBron passed Kareem last night. I feel like most people do. Big fat deal. From what I understand, that was the feelings of most of the fans in the stands. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't think the fans in the stands thought it was a big fat deal. They thought it was a big deal. That's why they had their phones out. But maybe Anthony Davis didn't think it was a big fat deal.
Yeah, it feels like there are people that can't be happy for somebody else. And that's something that I actually personally struggle with, is feeling happy for other people when they accomplish things. That's a personality flaw I have. And it feels like I share a trait with Anthony Davis in that regard.
Yeah. He just kind of wanders in from being off the bench, like out of the tunnel or something. All his teammates are standing because like they are anticipating, one more shot. He just kind of wanders over, then he sits down. Like, whatever. Just another day. 1570 texting in. I was in the lower bowl when Gaines hit the 3 to beat LeBron and the Cavaliers hit the buzzer. That was the loudest I've ever heard it. Crazy goosebumps.
Yeah, see, and those are memories you keep with you, even though you didn't get a film of that. You remember that it happened. You remember you were there. And that's enough.
Yeah, that's cool. That was a really cool game. I do remember that. Sunday out of Gaines.
Yeah, I still remember that. That was like right as I was getting, like, I've been a Jazz fan pretty much my whole life, but that was like when I'd really started more paying attention to the Jazz a little bit more as I was getting into kind of late junior high and high school. Of course, that was right when they traded, Darren Williams. So it wasn't the greatest time to get into it, but.
4781 texting in. I'm going to an Aggie basketball game for the first time this year tonight. It's going to be lit. Also, please do not give Conley to Minnesota. We need them to suck since we have their picks, and Conley would make them loads better. Also, I didn't have my phone out when PG-13 shoved Joe Ingles, but I can still picture it to this day.
See? Wonderful memories.
Yes.
Wonderful memories. And I'll say this, I kind of agree with the Minnesota. We don't really want to help Minnesota out, and you kind of want to help the Lakers out if you're wanting to tank because you'd like to be able to jump, I guess not jump, but fall below them. The thing is, though, Minnesota seems to be figuring things out anyway, so...
Well, right now, Minnesota's in the 9th position and Utah's in the 10th.
Yeah, Minnesota's on the rise, though.
They were, yes. They've won 6 out of their last 10.
So they're doing a bit better. So,
but they're still kind of in that wavering position. I mean, they're 29 and 28. Utah's 27 and 28. Just a game ahead of Utah.
So if they collapse again, I don't know. The last time they traded for a player from the Jazz didn't go so well. So maybe this time it'll work even better for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with the sentiment. You'd ideally not help Minnesota out because you have their pick, but getting a decent pick for them is gravy at this point. And when you're trading Conley, you're making yourself worse. So you may be, worsening the Minnesota pick, but you're helping your own picks. So there's some give and take there.
Right.
I understand the sentiment.
That would have to mean more Colin Sexton, Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Yeah.
Those would be your primary point guards at this point.
And I guess the ideal in this case is that you send it Conley to somebody else so that you get the best of both worlds, but you got to trade with who's going to be willing to trade with you. And if this is what it takes to get 2 Laker picks to Utah, I'm all for it, although I have my doubts that LA is going to send both those first-round picks they have.
9315, did you see the text from end of show yesterday?
Yeah, we missed.
Something
he sent a
about
show at the end. He sent like a picture. Guy with the mustache. We were talking about the mustaches, I think.
Yeah. Hope when they're done, grow this could be for the Stash Bros. I'm just reading as it's written. 8968, texting in. I was there when Wayne Estes hit 2001 back in 1964. Now that's exciting.
Yeah, that's something to be proud of being able to see. That's something that not very many people can say anymore.
Now, is it today that marks the anniversary of Estes passing? And I think I saw this on Twitter before Twitter crashed for me, that Utah State's wearing the state jerseys tonight in honor of Wayne Estes, because it was the type of jersey that he wore when he was a player.
Yeah, this actually is the anniversary.
So
February 8th. So he died the night of.
4781, ideally, if we have our pick and T-Wolves pick in the lottery, our odds are better.
Yeah, and that's to say the best of both worlds is trade Conley to someone else. The Timberwolves are still terrible. And you get 2 lottery picks, maybe 2 picks within like 8 to 10. That's the ideal, but again, you try and accumulate as many assets, and you're not always gonna have the ideal. Like I'd prefer the Jazz send assets to someone other than Minnesota, but sometimes you are trying to get the best thing rather than just the better thing.
Yeah. 2947, my greatest in-the-moment game that I will remember forever was back when there was the real Spectrum magic. I was at the Utah State versus BYU game. That was the last time BYU agreed to play the Aggies at home. It was standing room only. Crowd was constantly in a full-on frenzy. There were insane 20-foot banners. At certain points, it was so loud I could feel the ground in the arena was shaking through my shoes. The game was so intense, BYU refused to play us in Logan after that. So cool. I want to say it was during Carroll Wesley Wilkinson era. Anyway, unreal experience.
Yeah, I think there were a couple of home games versus BYU after that, but I don't think they were nearly as intense as some of those late 2000s, really early 2010s. Because I remember going to a game kind of that late era of the real Spectrum magic was like 2011. I was in high school at the time, actually. And we ended up in the back of the student section anyway, because I don't think anybody cared, but maybe we were close to the student section. You might have been in that first section next to him on that, I don't know, what is that, the south side? I don't know. We were on the sideline, and the students were to our right. And that was kind of a special thing. It wasn't any game of any significance, but yeah, those games got loud.
Yes.
And they're working on getting it back.
They are. It's been improving. Tonight, huge game. Huge. I hope it is sold out. There's not been a sellout this season. I don't know if there was a sellout last year. I know there's been a number of games that have been close, but tonight should be full.
It's not. Unless the ticket website is lying, there's actually a lot of seats open.
Fill them up. In fact, we're going to help you get there. We have a pair of tickets we're going to give away.
Ooh!
But you have to be able to come by and pick them up before 5:30 today. So we're going to take a quick timeout here in the Full Court Press. Great segue into that. We're going to take a quick timeout here. Coming back on the other side, we will tell you how you can win a pair of tickets to go see Utah State take on San Diego State tonight. It's an 8 o'clock tip-off, but you have to be able to come by and pick them up by 5:30 this afternoon if you can go. So don't participate if you can't get here before then. 435-339-0321 if you want to continue to chime in on other topics. But coming up on the other side of this break, we'll tell you how you can win a pair of tickets to see Utah State and San Diego State tonight in the Spectrum.
Want to set yourself apart from the competition? The Leadership MBA at Utah State University will help you lead companies and drive change in your organization. You can attend in person in Logan on Thursday evenings or take an interactive online class. Complete your MBA in as little as a year. Apply before March 1st to be considered for summer semester. Contact the MBA office for a waiver of the $55 application fee. Learn more at utahstatemba.com. That's utahstatemba.com.
The new Prodigy Brewing on Center Street in Logan offers an atmosphere that's vibrant, energetic, and friendly. Serving handmade juicy burgers, wood-fired pizzas, wings, nachos, and locally crafted beer while bringing a unique space to downtown Logan. Now offering lighter lunch options like personal-sized pizzas and sliders, or choose from your favorites like wings, beer cheese, fried pickles, and more. Stop by for a quick and delicious lunch that will get you back to work on time. Experience Prodigy Brewing, exceptional food, extraordinary service, and family-friendly on Center Street in downtown Logan.
We're heading into some crazy weather this winter, which means power outages. Tyler and his team at Golden Spike Electric can install a Generac automatic standby generator for your home so you can avoid issues when the power goes out. If you have one already, Golden Spike Electric can maintain your Generac automatic standby generator for you. Find them online at gsegenerators.com or call 435-257-3016. Golden Spike Electric and Generac automatic standby generators. Power you can count on.
As a small business, achieving your financial goals and ambitions can be a steep and rocky mountain climb. This is Lance Zollinger, president at Cache Valley Bank. To conquer the mountain and achieve your goals, it takes planning, hard work, and discipline. At Cache Valley Bank, we have the resources, expertise, and flexibility to help you scale your way to success. Give us a call. Let's work together and climb the mountains that await. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Let's talk about getting your car registered. What a pain! With registration and emissions, it takes hours. Valvoline Instant Oil Change in Logan, across from Angie's, will take that pain away. Stop in to get your oil changed and have the emissions test done. Then re-register your car. It's that easy, all in one stop. The best thing? You can stay in your car while their trained pros service your vehicle. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, 695 North Main, open 7 days a week.
This Valentine's Day, surprise your sweetheart with a watch from S.E. Needham Jewelers. You'll find competitive price and a large selection of Seiko, Citizen, Fossil, and Tissot watches. We provide impeccable service with our professional watch technicians. To top it off, all watches purchased at S.E. Needham Jewelers come with free lifetime battery replacement, free watch band adjustment, and free gift wrap. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 7. A Needham watch on every wrist. S.E. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block at the sign of the clock.
The Full Court Press. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and online at 1069thefan.com.
Welcome back to the Full Court Press. Eric Frandsen and Jason Walker. We were talking about Wayne Estes, the great Wayne Estes. And he will be the topic of our Full Court Press trivia. If you answer it correctly, You have 2 tickets to go see Utah State, San Diego State tonight. 8 o'clock tip-off in the Spectrum, but you have to be able to pick these up by 5:30. So you have an hour to get to the Radio Ranch, 810 West, 200 North in Logan, to pick these up. So here's the question. If you can answer it correctly, and you can use them tonight, and you can get here by 5:30. I hate to have all these qualifiers, but that is the way it is.
That's what we got. When we got the tickets, you gotta come here before we're done.
So the question is, how many points did Wayne Estes score that night back in February 8th, 1965, to break the record that put him over 2,000 points? Yeah. How many points did he score that night before his tragic passing? This was February 8th, 1965. It was an historic night for him. Call in 435-752-1065.
Yeah,
1069.
Yeah, 1069. 752-1069. Can't call the text line number because it'll show up saying somebody tried to call and we can't answer it. We do have a call coming in, so maybe, do we?
Yes.
Okay, flash
so
for a second.
I will answer the phones. Jason, you'll have to fill.
Yeah, so I'll read a couple of texts as we get the answers coming in. 4086 send in a couple of texts. Free bacon tonight at the game. Also free Rockstar energy drinks for the first 400 students. Yeah, I saw the bacon one. I didn't see the energy drink thing. That should be fun for some people. I know for the students, they're probably going to be there. They'll probably start showing up. Well, it depends on if they opened the doors early for the last game, but it was really cold. It's not as cold now, so they may or may not open the doors super early. But like the second they open those doors, there's going to be students coming in. It's probably going to be again like the last game I went to, well, the last home game. Like the student section was dang near full when I got there, like a half hour before scheduled tip off. And what ended up being actually 40 minutes. So, 4086 in another text. I'll read this one off. So, he says, I worked as an usher for many games that were very loud. One was when Nevada came to town. In Aggies, Stephen Williams hit 2 threes in a row to put the Aggies ahead. I went out of the Spectrum with my ears ringing. Yeah, there's some famous, like some of the famous clips you see of some of the earlier instances of some of those cheers Utah State began to do. And one of them was against Nevada, and you could hear like really loud over the TV broadcast. That's the recording, just how loud it was.
Was that was it Chris Clark who hit the big shot when Nevada was like a top 10 or top 12 team?
He's talking about Stephen Williams hitting a couple threes against Nevada.
Oh.
I don't know which year that was. It sounds like I kind of overheard some of your conversations. Sounds like we had at least somebody who answered correctly.
Well, we had a lot of calls coming through, and apologize for those who didn't make it. But Nate was the first one to call in and correctly identify it. Wayne Estes scored 48 points that night, which is insane.
Yeah, it's
especially considering there was no 3-point line at the time.
Yeah, did it all from twos and free throws. It's still a home record for the Aggies. It's not the Spectrum scoring record because he did it in the old field house.
That's true.
Where there's only a handful of times where I've played sports a handful of times in the field house. Doesn't really look as much like it did back then. I played indoor soccer in there, which was fun because I played goalie on what was basically concrete flooring.
Oh. That sounds painful.
It was at times. It was painful. Although I had one of the better games I ever had, so as a goalie. So I guess it worked.
4086, Chris Clark did make a shot. You are correct, Eric.
Okay, so I guess he said there were a couple threes and put the Aggies ahead, and makes Chris Clark making a shot.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if those
that's
were the
another
same
one of those
game,
iconic games that I got to be there. And I wasn't on press row. Like I've talked to you guys before. Like, when it comes to USU basketball, I like to just be in the stands. And I'll just like to be around the fans and just experience the game. And that was one, and it was My ears were ringing for hours after that game. It was so crazy. But it's also one of those games where the arena could only fit 10,000 people, but you'd swear 40,000 people were there, based on conversations that happened after the fact.
Yeah, well, it's just when you get these small arenas sometimes, and they can just have the right acoustics, and it just sounds really loud, even though there may not be very many people there. Some high school gyms are like that, where it's just like, how loud is it getting in here? There's only like 2,000 people in here. Actually, the hockey arena, the Eccles Ice Center is kind of like that, where I think their maximum capacity is like 2,500 people.
25, yeah, maybe.
And it gets loud in there. And cold. But that's kind of expected.
9315, did you read that?
No, the one about the Rockstar thing. I didn't. Somebody else tweeted about that.
What's with the Rockstar thing for the game tonight? I think we can do better than that for this important game. The Herd is saying, dress like a rock star tonight.
Yeah.
That's the theme. And then I guess they're going to be handing out a bunch of Rockstar energy drinks.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that. One of the other texts mentioned that. There's the free bacon and the free rock stars. I guess some people will dress like a rock star. That doesn't seem like the best thing to do at a game, because you have to bring like the prop guitar, or I guess you can just go with the stereotypical mohawk painted
big hair wig.
Yeah,
sunglasses,
bunch of rings on your arms and whatnot, tattered clothes. Doesn't seem as, I don't know. Just bring your favorite Wild Bill costume.
Yeah, there you go.
Or that new guy who's like, I don't know.
Yeah, the Red Lightning or whoever. Something.
What did he have? I don't know.
He's got red hair and he goes crazy on the staircase.
Yeah, and they always film him. I know they did a short interview with him. And his whole persona is just being insane.
Yes.
Being quirky and insane, which, fair enough, that's the kind of energy you need.
Yes, true.
From a crowd. So it's great to have those kind of those super fans, you can call them.
4781 giving us the answer to the Wayne Estes question. We already gave that. Yes, 48 points. 4086. Most iconic game against YBU when Spencer Nelson got mugged by Arroyo. We won by 2.
There you go.
Was it Arroyo or Araujo or whatever his name was? Because there were some games, like, there was a game that went into overtime, didn't it? With Hoffa, and he grabbed Nate Harris in the nether regions, but Nate still got the ball up and in the basket, the basketball, I should say, and got the basketball through the hoop, and the Aggies won. But after the game, in his post game, Al Lewis was asking him about that final possession. He's like, "Yeah, he grabbed me in the nuts." Oh, that was crazy.
So sometimes it'd be like that.
Oh, gosh. All right, we're going to take a quick time out here in the Full Court Press. Still more to talk about. Yes, there are some hot rumors about the Utah Jazz in trade discussions involving the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Timberwolves actually in town tonight to take on the Jazz. Mike Conley could be squaring off against his new team, while Rudy Gobert going up against his old team in the same venue. And also, we're going to preview Utah State, San Diego State. Huge matchup in the Mountain West tonight. There was a really big showdown last night, an iconic ending in that one in Albuquerque. So we'll update you on the latest Mountain West standings. We've got high school hoops going on tonight. We'll tell you who's playing where, how you can follow along. A lot more to get through here on the Full Court Press on 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, The Fan.
Alpine Home Medical has been around for over 25 years. Can you believe that? Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent. What keeps us coming to work every day? We're passionate about caring for you. From home and bathroom safety to transportation, mobility, recovery, oxygen, sleep, and more, come into any of our 10 locations today and let us take care of you.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Visit us at alpinehomemedical.com.
When it comes to home care, it's important to know you have a choice. If you or a loved one is in need of hospice or home health services, remember that Primrose Home Care and Hospice believes in treating the patient as well as the problem. We work directly with you and your doctor to create a health plan that's catered to your needs. Our team is devoted to providing options in the freedom and safety of your own home. Visit us at primrosecare.com or call to schedule a free consultation. Primrose Home Care and Hospice, your local hospice and home health provider since 2006.
Nothing feels better. Nothing is more relaxing than a massage. A deep tissue or a relaxing Swedish massage from Academy Massage at the Sports Academy. Buy your sweetie a massage and get a 10% discount through Valentine's Day. Relax, rejuvenate, and revitalize yourself with a massage for both of you. 10% off all massages through Valentine's Day at the Sports Academy. This offer valid for members and non-members. The Sports Academy. Your club, your results, your life.
Sunday, the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles square off in Super Bowl 57. Hi, this is Scott Graham. Join me and the rest of our Westwood One crew from Arizona for all the action. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are hoping to win a second title in 4 seasons for Kansas City. But the Philly faithful are hoping this one can be as special as their last Super Bowl 5 years ago. If it's Super Bowl 57, it's right here.
Pregame begins at 3 with kickoff at 4:30 on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, The Fan.
Welcome to the new year and happy winter driving. As the weather outside gets colder, it's more important than ever to have a reliable vehicle to get you around safely. That's where Murdoch GMC comes in with the Drive at Home sales event. Right now, receive 2.9% for 5 years plus no payments for 90 days on all 2023 Sierra 1500 models. When you walk through our doors, you feel like family. At Murdoch Chevrolet, Buick GMC, Cadillac, and Logan, or online at MurdochChevroletLogan.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Call 866-628-3065 or see dealer for complete details. Offer expires 2/28/23.
This is Nate Lamson with Valley Office Systems, your home team when local matters. Valley Office Systems is your local provider for all things office, copiers, printers, furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Cache Valley since 2007. Visit valleyofficesystems.com.
Talking the sports you care about. The Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Welcome back to the Full Court Press. Eric Frandsen, Jason Walker. Congratulations to Nate. Nate was the first to correctly identify the amount of points scored by Wayne Estes, and that was 1965.
58 years ago.
That's crazy. Long time ago, and that at the time passed the scoring mark for USU.
He was, I think, one of the first, 10 or 15 people in collegiate basketball history to score 2,000 points. So he was one of the first, and dude did it in 2 2/3 seasons.
Yeah, insane.
So he was in, and his final year still holds the record for points per game. It was 33, and I doubt that'll ever be broken. There's just nobody who's just that good at scoring that's come through Utah State. You've had some good ones. J.C. Carroll, Greg Grant, Cornell Green, Marvin Roberts, even not as much as a scorer. He was kind of the double-double machine, but guys like that just don't come around anymore, at least not to Utah State, it feels like.
Yeah, pure scorers.
Yeah, you get a lot of good players, but none, and granted, it's not like you need guys who can score 30 points, but
that's true.
Those tend to be, once in a program's history for some programs.
435-339-0321 if you want to chime in. We've also been talking about, last night in Los Angeles, LeBron James, he hits the shot that puts him over the edge for the scoring leader in the NBA. And the arena was full of people who had their phones out trying to capture the moment on their own device, which they, I'm sure, then shared on social media, bragging how they were in the arena at the time.
Just so they can get their 2 likes.
Right. But it got us thinking about great iconic sporting events that you got to be there and be a part of, as we've had some really good memories shared on the Full Court Press text line. 8968 also texting in, you think the Spectrum is loud? The old field house back in the day was loud, loud, loud. The night Estes broke the record, you could not hear for the rest of the game. I bet. Yeah, like you said earlier, sometimes these small venues, those acoustics just really amplify the noise that's there and makes it really, really hard to hear.
Yeah, that's when you have marks like that, when LeBron breaks that scoring mark, or even some of these old games with Wayne Estes breaking what was at the time a very prestigious mark. Again, only a handful of people had done it. been able to score 2,000 points in the career, and Wayne Ness is such a great player and beloved by the community. So of course they went nuts, even though there weren't that many people there. But they just get so loud when people get that excited. Sometimes it doesn't matter if there's only 2,000-3,000 people. And that's why it doesn't matter when there's only like 9,000-10,000 people in the spectrum, compared to some 15,000, 20,000 seat arenas. Like they get loud and they get rowdy and they get excited. And then you can't hear anymore. And we'll see if that happens tonight. I sit in an area where it's like, all the sound comes down on me, and it comes from right behind me, and so it's time where I can start losing hearing. We'll see. I think I need to go buy earplugs.
Bring your earplugs. Yes.
I probably should carry a pair of earplugs in my bag, just so it's like I need to be able to hear, guys.
4086 texting in, Wild Dylan is the dude in the stairwell dancing like crazy.
There you go.
Wild Dylan.
So does he have to sit next to the stairwell now? Can he not go down to the bottom of that, end line? That's kind of been the classic spot for those super fans, is that right behind the basket. He's up there like right next to the band.
Yeah. But he has more room to get out and do his thing on the stairwell.
Just have him jump over and get on the court and do the dancing during the
there
timeouts.
You go. It's good stuff. Really good stuff. But just recapping news from Shams Charania just this afternoon. The Lakers, the Jazz, and the Timberwolves are in discussions on a 3-team deal. It would send D'Angelo Russell to the Lakers, where he spent time before. It would send Russell Westbrook and draft compensation, such as a first-round pick to Utah.
Such as are the Lakers opening? We'll give you like 2 second-round picks and like $12 and a Subway sandwich.
And some cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I'll give you some crypto. It's not worth anything.
Just hang on to it. I'm sure in about 5 years it'll be worth something.
It's gonna be big, bro. It's gonna be big, bro.
Yeah, bro. Then Mike Conley, he will go to Minnesota. This is according to Shams and Tony Jones. There's been wide speculation that if Westbrook were traded to Utah, that the Jazz would likely buy out his contract, and then he would essentially be a free agent to be signed by anyone to conclude the final, 25, 30 games of the regular season.
This trade feels like the kind that just can't go well for anybody. I mean, except for the Jazz in this case, because you have the Lakers who just want somebody else's point guard. You have the Timberwolves who just want somebody else's point guard. You sure the grass is greener with somebody else's point guard? There's a reason they're trading that guy away. And you just want a different guy? The only way this feels like it could work out is maybe the Timberwolves, if Mike Conley actually fits better with what they want, which with his passing, working with Towns and Gobert, probably works better than Russell, who's a bit more of a I'll pass to you if I get double-teamed kind of guy.
Right.
Conley worked really well with Gobert, and he can presumably work pretty well with Towns. So maybe that can work out for him, but I don't know if it's going to be a huge deal. But then maybe they're only giving up D'Angelo Russell. For the Lakers, you're basically getting, I guess, again, it's attacking scoring point guard just like Russell Westbrook is. He can shoot a little bit better. But is that really going to turn things around for the Lakers? I don't think so. Now, again, I don't mind it because things going wrong for the Lakers is my third favorite pastime. And so,
yes.
Like I said, a lot of these trades that have been proposed, I think are horrible ideas for the teams, for the Lakers. Sending the 2 first-round draft picks to the Jazz, I don't think they're going to wind up doing that. But if they did, I'd love it. It's a stupid idea for the Lakers to do, but I don't care. The supposed trade framework of Atlanta sending a first-round pick and John Collins to Utah for some players. That's a horrible idea for Atlanta. It's probably a good thing they didn't go for it. But I would have been fine with it because it's the Jazz fleecing another team. But to be honest, I think it's more likely if this trade goes through, the Jazz are probably only going to get one first-round pick, which will be mildly disappointing, but it could be what the Jazz need for the long term. I'm getting kind of attached to this team as it's currently formatted, so I'm becoming more and more reluctant to have these trades. But I do have to recognize that in the long term, it may be for the best.
Yeah.
Kind of the thoughts I was having at the beginning of the season, I've kind of come full circle again, where I was like, tank the whole way at the beginning of the season, then I got attached to the team, and now I got to come all the way back to where my opinion was at the beginning of the season.
That's true. Like we've kind of unfairly been kind of fallen in love with this team as it's currently constituted, only to have a breakup again.
How could you not fall in love with this team? That's the thing. Is that tells you how like lovable this team was. I was a guy that was like, tank everything, trade everyone. That's kind of where I was at one point. And then I was all of a sudden like, I don't know if I want to trade everyone. I kind of like him. Except Patrick Beverley. Always trade him. Very glad when they did that.
Yeah, that's
I would
right.
never have fallen in love with Patrick.
More of your comments, 435-339-0321 if you want to chime in. 0366. I loved Enes Kanter's tweet about LeBron last night. Yeah, that was...
What did he say?
I got to see if I can find it. Basically...
Did he say something about China?
Yeah, like zero morals. You know, he's not standing for anything. But, you know, way to go on getting that... on the scoring record, whatever.
Enes Kanter's gone like full blow, needling LeBron whenever he can. Because unfortunately, his career kind of fell apart. There's some who would argue that he got blackballed because I don't know if he was really bad enough to just wash out of the league, but he's going full on political commentator, former athlete type.
Yeah,
thing,
that's
which
true.
is a weird direction for athletes to go. But of course, he's also more. I guess he appears to be more right. I don't know if he is right-leaning, but it seems that's the audience he's catering to. It's just kind of weird to see his direction go from someone who didn't really seem like he spoke a lot to he's very outspoken.
Yes, yeah, he is. Okay, well, here's what he tweeted last night afterwards: 38,388 points, zero morals, zero values, zero principles, zero empathy. One bow down to China. Congratulations to King James. And then he followed it up this morning saying, people get mad when I speak the truth because I'm the only athlete who actually speaks the truth. I don't care about your endorsement deals or your dirty money. You cannot buy me, CCP. Don't expect me to respect you or your game when your shoes are literally made by slave kids. So that was Enes Freedom, as he is now known. He changed his name legally to Freedom. He went to Twitter last night. Another quick timeout here in the Full Court Press. We will discuss other things going on. Utah State with a big showdown tonight in the Spectrum. Utah State, San Diego State. Lessons learned from last time that can be adopted to give the Aggies a chance to take care of business tonight in a big showdown in the conference. There was a big game last night in the conference, so updated standings certainly affects where Utah State is and who is around them. And we've got high school basketball. Utah Jazz are in action. A lot still to get through, along with your texts. 435-339-0321.
Are you ready for Valentine's kisses and wishes? It's time to make your Valentine's Day reservation for the Sweethearts Buffet at the Riverwoods Conference Center on Friday, February 10th. Experience a romantic ambiance with piano music and a kissing booth backdrop for selfies. A delicious selection of entrees that include herb-roasted New York loin and pesto-roasted turkey. And it wouldn't be Valentine's without a decadent dessert bar filled with all your favorite dreamy sweets. Now as for the kisses, better make your reservation today. Riverwoods Conference Center. Call 750-5151.
It's cold outside, but you can keep warm inside with a quality-built, super-efficient York furnace. Count on a furnace from York because it's backed by the strongest warranties available. It's just another way we install confidence. Call Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, your local York dealer, at 752-7272. Online at advancedheating-ac.com. York, install confidence.
We're not comfortable until you are. Advanced Heating and Air.
Crystal Vision would like to thank their clients for their best year yet. They're grateful for your business and trust. It's a new year, so time for a new look. Crystal Vision, the gold medal winner in Best of Northern Utah, has a frame style you'll love that will set you apart from others. Take in your current prescription and let Crystal Vision fit you into a new look. Let this be the year your glasses feel like they were made for you. Crystal Vision on 14th North or online at crystalvision.com.
Looking for a stable career with great pay, benefits, and positive work environment? This is Scotty with Homestead Cabinets in Hiram. We produce high-quality, state-of-the-art custom cabinetry and are looking for employees who want to become skilled craftsmen. Work Monday through Friday with weekends off. Wages start at $16 per hour with opportunities for growth as you gain experience. Benefits include daily free breakfast, monthly profit sharing, as well as great health insurance. Homestead is a company that values its employees. They emphasize growth of the individual as well as the company. Go to homesteadcabinet.net and apply today.
Sunday, the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles square off in Super Bowl 57. Hi, this is Scott Graham. Join me and the rest of our Westwood One crew from Arizona for all the action. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are hoping to win a second title in 4 seasons for Kansas City. But the Philly faithful are hoping this one can be as special as their last Super Bowl 5 years ago. If it's Super Bowl 57, it's right here.
Pre-game begins at 3 with kickoff at 4:30 on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, The Fan.
It doesn't matter who you root for. The Full Court Press has all the high school sports covered. The Full Court Press. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and online at 1069thefan.com.
At Napa, you can save big on a variety of different things, like 50% off of night vision headlights. You can save up to $19 a pair on silicone wiper blades from Trico and Rain-X. A lot of other great deals to help your vehicle run properly during these cold weather months. Go check them out. Napa Auto Parts, 5 locations between Preston and Providence, locally owned, local know-how. They know what's going on at Napa Auto Parts. Couple of games tonight in the Mountain West, but it was an interesting night last night in the conference. Colorado State winning on the road at Air Force by 16, 69-53. Fresno State winning at home against San Jose. And then Nevada with a last-second shot, bounces around, hangs on the rim, and then rolls in as the buzzer sounds as Nevada gets the win at New Mexico. We were all hoping for a New Mexico win, but it was Nevada that got in the last second. And so pretty dramatic game, 77-76 for the Wolf Pack over the Lobos. So I guess those Nevada Wolves are better than the New Mexico Wolves. But whatever.
Yes. Of course, they call Wolf Pack and Lobos.
Yeah, that's true.
They got to be all creative and stuff.
So currently San Diego State in sole possession of first place. Nevada now in second place by half a game. Utah State and Boise State tied in for third. New Mexico drops, and now they're with a conference record of 6-5. They are 3 games behind San Diego State for the top position. So, that's why this game tonight is so big for Utah State. A chance to really move into it. They'd be tied for Nevada in the first place in conference standings if they were to beat San Diego State.
Yeah, so it's obviously a big game. This is huge for the Aggies. You know, it's not just splitting with San Diego State. You know, it is continuing to win and move up in the standings. The Aggies have a chance to. We talked about this earlier, where they have a chance to get themselves back up into the first or second position, but it requires just about winning out. So every game at this point, especially those against the top of the standings, because even if you win every other game, but you lose to the San Diego States, Nevadas, or Boise State, like 1 or 2 or 2 or 3 of them, then yeah, you end up in 4th or 5th. Even if you wind up going and beating the Air Forces and Wyomings and everywhere else when you're going home on the road. So that makes this game, and it's another resume game. Like this is like your last chance to get a real resume-defining game.
By the way, Nevada moved up to 31 from 34 with the win. New Mexico drops to 39 after being at 37. A couple of games tonight in conference, just like we mentioned, we've been talking about Utah State, San Diego State, and we'll go into greater detail about the matchups there next hour. But the other one tonight at 8:30 on FS1 is UNLV at Wyoming. And Wyoming's had a bunch of injuries, and now they've got some players leaving. They're defecting. It just hasn't worked out. And 3 players are leaving the program. I think they're down to 7 scholarship players for the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Their third leading scorer, and then a couple of guys that are a little further back in the rotation. I thought I saw that they were all like transfer players, but
they're all from the Pac-12.
Yeah, so they're guys that were supposed to help this team be like the support to the Hunter Maldonado and Graham Ike. They were supposed to be those support guys to the Stars, and they were going to be a top 25 team, and at-large bid if they didn't just win the conference tournament outright. This is supposed to be like the best team in the Mountain West, one of, if not the best team in the Mountain West. And they've just been too injured.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. LeBron James officially became the NBA's all-time leading scorer last night after hitting a step-back jumper to end the third quarter. There are plenty of people who will make excuses why LeBron was able to pass Kareem. But after 20 years in the league, James deserves all the credit. He isn't a natural scorer that Michael Jordan was. But the 19-time All-Star has shown immaculate longevity and a willingness to grow. James came into the league as an athletic slasher and a great passer. He now ranks inside the top 10 in three-pointers made. James's continued longevity is also noteworthy. He's 38, but the future Hall of Famer is still averaging over 30 a game. Kareem and MJ both failed to average 25 at the same age. So instead of arguing about who's the best scorer of all time, how about we just enjoy the moment? Because no matter who you believe deserves the title, what LeBron has done over the last 2 decades is one of the more impressive runs in the history of sports. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise.